everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Long Way Home with myself, Jordan, and Kyle. Today we'll be recapping the Belgium and the Hungary Grand Prix. Bloody hell. So we'll quickly, run through all the highs and lows of both races, what we thought. If that doesn't take too long, we'll come on to some car news later on. If not, next week we'll be doing a car soul podcast with the F1 break going on.
Yep.
So, Kyle, what did you make of the Belgian Grand Prix?
So I think that was the most controversial out of the two races that we had, coming from the background of the 50-50 engines that kind of raised its ugly head in terms of questions. The hybrid engines struggling on a much faster track, very similar to how Silverstone was, long straights, sometimes fast, long sweeping curves as well. There was many points where it kind of was, the car itself was bogging down, and it's kind of almost, it looks like the cars are letting off, but they're just not got full power anymore. So they look really fast and then they kind of slow down a little bit more. So I think that was probably the most poignant thing of the whole weekend. I think many spectators will not have noticed. I think many spectators will not have cared because there was plenty of drama. But those who are a little bit more nerdy about it probably found this track a little frustrating and feels like, what's the point of having Spa anymore on the race calendar if you've got these 50-50 hybrid engines?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the race live. I caught up with it.
Yep.
But just by watching the recap, it was like, oh my God, so much went on. I made like loads of notes, and I was like,
yeah,
because I think I watched the long form of the highlights,
extended highlights, like
22 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my God, actually, so much went on. I wish I watched it live, but then I've seen like feeds and news on Instagram, and I think the general feel was that, and some commentary bits that we saw as well. We know the commentators try and lift it up, and they won't say, oh, that was a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
But I think from a spectacle of what Spa should be and what it wasn't it.
Yeah, it didn't have the same allure and DNA of what Spa should be. It felt it was lacking something, and
it turned into a bit of a game, and it was a bit like, well, if I don't use it here, I'll get them there because they'll run out of charge. And it should never be like that. It should just, I get the boost and I get the 50-50, but I feel like it should never run out. It should run out, but it got to a point where it was running out too early.
Yeah.
And the drivers were just like, well, what can I do? I'm sitting duck.
Yeah.
And like, you just saw the car just slow down, and you thought, oh, they've got a problem. He's steaming past them, but it's not. He just ran out.
We can obviously explain a version of that in a minute. I just from a qualifying standpoint, just how that kind of Saturday went. I think Antonelli, he got pole, fastest lap of the weekend on his final Q3 run. That car is obviously doing incredible, continuing to do well in terms of qualifying. It's not always the most consistent, but it is the dominating car of the kind of the 2026 season. There was some kind of tactics that we saw both in, I think, in qualifying and actually in the race, where Verstappen, quite sweetly got some slipstreams from Hadjar. In the race, we saw some kind of friendly kind of helping each other out, bogging other cars behind. I think Hadjar doing a good job there as a teammate. But yeah, just interesting to see that the Mercedes is kind of pretty much dominating in terms of the qualifying lap paces. But I think that was just one thing to raise from the weekend. It was the fastest car despite this kind of track.
It still came out on top.
Yeah. But the race itself, coming down to the actual start, I think I love the start on this race because of that long straight after like 3 corners or whatever you want to call it, is such a long straight. And they get it's wide as hell as well, so like they get so many cars abreast. Going into the first corner, I think Verstappen, if you remember from the highlights, I watched it live, and I've watched the highlights again to remind myself, but Verstappen got a really sick launch, really, really good launch. He overtook, he was very close on the first corner, but he actually overtook Antonelli, I think, through Eau Rouge and Radion, so that curving S up to the main straight. And that where even the commentator, so back to your point, Jordan, in terms of the battery kind of trying to bunny hop each other, trying to tactically use it, it seemed like, and I think the commentators were saying, and there was nothing on the screen to kind of show it, but it seemed like Verstappen was using his battery to try and get track position before getting to the Kemmel straight. And it worked, but then immediately it was like, shit, it's all gone. And then it was just Antonelli just breeze past him. He obviously has a bit of a toe,
literally on the next corner as well.
Yeah, and he breezed by. So it looked like Red Bull was able to like seize control with like a really quick car. It looks like that, but the reality is no. There's a little bit of hidden juice that we can't see and have any notice of, and when it's gone. It's gone and you're screwed. And that's how he went past him. So I thought that was interesting. And I think I talk about this probably later on as well in the Hungary race, but like there's maturity coming from Antonelli. I think you might even see there, oh my God, he's overtook me. I had pole position. I had a great start as it is really, but he didn't have any impatience. He showed patience. He waited to the corner, to the straight, and just, again, he knew his car, he knew it was fastest in Q3, just breezed past him like it was nothing. But yeah, I think it was an interesting start. And like I say, by the end of that main straight, so many cars were like daggering for position. It's so cool to watch them all, 22 of them kind of like elbows out, trying to get best position.
Quite a few that were 3 abreast as well, just going into that. After Eau Rouge, going into that right and left.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't, but it's
is it
a shot.
Le Com or something like that? I think it is. Yeah, because that's
sure, but
I think Le Com,
right and left straight.
Le Com's where Russell eventually goes off. Yeah. But yeah, there was like 3 abreast at some points. It's funny because at the start you're always watching like who's at the front. And when they do them really big pan out views of like the whole straight, and you can see them, just like, you can see the mid pack all just wrestling each other, like because they are all similar in pace rather than like the front sometimes, and they're all just like wacky races at the back, kind of like all pushing each other out of the way. It's really cool to watch.
Where you watch the onboards of the midfield as well, you're like, how is there not more people going?
I know, it's crazy
because it's like every second that they just move slightly and
just twitches
behind them. You're like, how have you? I mean, straight away I'd just be like, oh, you coming? I'll move over. Oh, he's there. I'm going to move over, and then I'd crash. Yeah, like, there's no way. I'd just stay in the middle and just brake at the right time.
We don't understand it, and we don't really appreciate it. But the aero implications again of like, because they do it in NASCAR. NASCAR, I believe. Like I think I've watched the video like and understand it. Like if you actually side by side, but you see a lot of the NASCARs do this very close side by side, and something about the air pressure it creates because of how close you are, it creates either like a low pressure area. That means there's less drag for you, and it means you can kind of slipstream past them weirdly by side drafting someone rather than kind of getting a tow. And I think we see it later in the race. There's a bit where I think Hamilton's really close in front of another driver, and he was explaining like, oh, I can't help, like they just kind of went in front of me. That then caused him to have a snap of oversteer, and it's like nothing under his control. It's just the way that the aerodynamic conditions and how cars are positioned can just change how the car reacts immediately. And I know we've got all this active aero as well. So when you're saying like split second decisions and there's like 5 cars all around you, it's not only just the fact that they're close, like you don't know how it's going to affect if someone cuts straight in front of you or leaves the air in front of you. When that fresh wall of air hits you, how's that then going to make your car react and all this kind of stuff? So you must have to be so naturally in tune with a car to be able to react with some of them things. And I think part of the drama all this season is maybe it's feeling less natural now because there are all these active aero bits that move about. Sometimes the car's just doing things that they could never even anticipate, and they're like, whoa, 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 and they end up spinning off. But yeah, I know there's lots.
We've seen loads of weird crashes this year.
There is,
and it's all down to different reasons. I mean, Verstappen's gone off twice because his wing won't shut.
Yeah.
Behrman super clipping, and Russell just having all sorts of issues.
Yeah.
Going off. I mean, my next point is obviously, someone makes contact with Russell, so he goes out again.
I think it was Hamilton. That made contact with him.
So safety car came out. Russell obviously went out. Hamilton got a 5-second penalty, but I'm not sure what he was meant to do in that situation. When I've watched the onboard afterwards, like it didn't look like he closed the gap or could have left him anything. It was like Lewis was already there kind of thing, and they just collided. I don't think that was Lewis's fault, really.
I think it was that corner and that incident where Russell had quite rightly left enough room for Hamilton to squeeze by. And I think it was that, as I was kind of just saying, where the car in front had just moved a little bit more across in front of Hamilton. It caused him to have that little snap. It then caused him to kiss Russell. But that was just enough to kind of spin his car straight out. And because he went in the gravel, and the way that he span into the gravel, he had no momentum to try and get himself back out onto track. I imagine his car was pretty, messed up anyway. But yeah, unfortunately, that was bad. And that obviously, I think, was devastating for Russell because he's constantly trying to be in contention with Antonelli. And it seems like just these little things are going to just keep pushing him back and back and back. And obviously that's 0 points for him. And for anyone who's got him in their Final Fantasy, it's Final Fantasy, F1 Fantasy. In their F1 Fantasy, it's minus 20 points. I'm pretty sure by this point, a lot of people have got Mercedes in there as one of their teams as well, constructors. But it doesn't matter as much because everyone's got Mercedes. Probably we're all kind of losing, so it doesn't matter on the leaderboards.
I don't think I have. I haven't.
Have you not?
Actually. No, I got Ferrari, I think.
We need to do a good job of like screenshotting where we're at with this because I think your team's doing pretty abysmal, to be honest, because you don't keep up with it, do you?
I changed it like 3 weeks ago after Barcelona, and then I've left
it
again.
And then not touched it.
But I think I changed my chip. I put my chip on. I meant to put my chip on someone else, and it didn't do it. And then that was when Hamilton won. Yeah. And then it didn't reset, and then I think I've just left it on Antonelli since because I'm like, well, he keeps winning, so
he's doing all right. Yeah, it's not a bad choice. But yeah, it kind of from a constructor standpoint, it was bad because obviously it means there's not a double podium for Mercedes. It means these other kind of two teams, Red Bull, even now McLaren and Ferrari can definitely be nipping at the heels. But yeah, that was a shame for him. As we already kind of mentioned, Antonelli kind of took the lead of the race from Verstappen. That car's got superior pace compared to them. And instead of it being like it might have looked like Verstappen being the one defending for the first few laps, it was immediately like he was straight back onto the attack. But yeah. In terms of Ferrari, who are... you kind of mentioned about him getting the penalty because of the early incident, but I think where normally they're like the clown team, like the clown fiesta team, they did actually do a pretty good strategy with one of the VSCs. So I think, I can't remember the reason for the VSC, but it was around like lap 20. There was a virtual safety car and they double pitted. So Leclerc came in, perfect for them. I think, was it Verstappen had already done a change maybe potentially? Or Antonelli, I'm not quite sure, but Ferrari double pitted. They got Leclerc in, clean for him, perfect, really helped him out. Hamilton came in, he had to serve his penalty for 5 seconds. And it's so funny because they always feel like an absolute millennia, like when they're just sat there by the
5
car.
seconds longer,
So you're so used to just watching the car comes in and then gone. It's so weird when they just sat there for 5 seconds, not even touching it.
They're like this.
They're like, and then all of a sudden, and then off it goes again. But I don't know if you saw this in the highlights. That was where the drama was when he decided to try and take his mechanic's ankles off.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it on a. It was when just after the race happened, I think, on Instagram. And it was just like, and he was like, "Oh, is he okay? Is he okay?" They didn't really show it on the highlights, though.
No, I think there was more after the race, maybe, and maybe there was a little bit shown in the race itself. I haven't done the research to find out why he decided to be in front. It was clearly the mechanics kind of.
I think it went
problem.
Green.
It did go green, but I don't know why he decided. Maybe he saw something on the car and he thought, "Oh, I'll pull that off for a second."
Why the mechanic went back?
The mechanic, not Lewis. Lewis did everything right, but I don't understand why. 1 minute he was at the side of the car, and then clearly all the wheels have been put on. What's the next thing that you think is going to happen? He's going to try and drive off. So he must have maybe seen something and just, I don't know, spatial awareness, didn't really notice it. But it turned out the mechanic was okay. Leclerc, though, managed to jump ahead of Antonelli, I think, briefly. And it was interesting.
Into second, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you got any points on that. But and then again, unfortunately for Verstappen, not only was he lost the initial track position on first lap and then was having to chase and attack Antonelli. Now he was also under pressure from the Ferraris. So, rather than him attacking the Mercedes and trying to go for first place, he was now having to squabble with Leclerc and Hamilton potentially. So I can't remember where Hadjar was in all of this mix, but he's definitely doing a solo job out there, really trying to fight for some opportunities and podiums in the championship.
Yeah. I had that. Obviously, Leclerc came back out, goes into second. He then takes Norris, and then so does Antonelli.
Yep.
Antonelli passes Norris after. And then Antonelli takes Leclerc on lap 34. So Antonelli manages again to use his car, even though Ferrari did the great strategy. Yeah. Antonelli just drove that car and sailed past him again.
Well, Antonelli, and again, I think this brings back to my idea of like, he's very mature in his racing already. He was managing them tyres beautifully. He was being very patient with his driving. He obviously has a good car, so you can have that faith in your sense of like maintain the patience. But he remained within striking distance, Leclerc all the time, and he just knew, I'll just chip away, and eventually I will get past him. Yeah,
because him knowing that I know my car's faster, especially over a longer track like that where there's longer straights, I'll just bide my time, catch him bit by bit. I've got plenty of laps left, and he did. He didn't, as long as he didn't make a mistake. He knew he was always going to pass him.
Yeah, and I think it's whether it's the car, but also where he is in the championship. I think sometimes because of where he is in the championship, he's come across a little flustered. So for like Silverstone, when he had that issue with his wheel arch, and he was like, "Do I come in and retire the car, or shall I just stay out?" I think to me, it came across as a little bit more immature there because he was so indecisive. He didn't know what to do. 1 minute he was being deflated, and then the next minute he's like, no, we can do it. We'll stay out. Yeah. But now when there is no true issue, he seems to be quite comfortable under pressure when it's not like there's something going catastrophically wrong. He just got that quiet confidence of like, don't worry, I'll probably catch up kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not rushing, and he definitely has tried to keep a cool head where he can, for saying how young he is. I think the Silverstone bit, he just wanted to stay out, try and get a point, and no one can really knock him for that.
Yeah.
And the car wasn't unsafe. It was just perhaps a bit undrivable.
Yeah. And I
just
can't,
not how it should be.
I can't remember if it was this race in particular or if we said it before. Like, it seems like the whole Ferrari turbos getting off the line thing obviously is pretty dead now. Everyone seems to be the same level. And I know that the initial talking for that was because I think they had smaller turbos, so they were able to spin up faster. Yeah. So I was wondering, is that going to then, because now everyone's caught up whatever way, however they've done it, but then now because if they've got smaller turbos, are they going to struggle when it is these longer, faster tracks because they don't have enough then of a bigger turbo to get to the top speed? But it seems like the overall package that Ferrari has still looks pretty good, and if anything, it's actually significantly kind of improving in a way because they are managing to nip at the heels of Antonelli and Mercedes. Russell's not having a great time, so sometimes they're doing better consistently than Russell. But yeah, I think that Ferrari car is looking pretty good. I just
feel like we're always waiting. We're always waiting for them to just smash it out of the park.
Yeah,
I know Leclerc won, but was it last week? Silverstone,
yeah. On a technicality as well, I would say.
Yeah, but like I just mean where like it's a Ferrari dominant weekend, 1-2, smashed out of the park. And Barcelona was a little bit like that, but not fully. There was a bit of jeopardy of how hot it was, and loads of cars weren't reacting as well. I think we're not seeing what Mercedes and Red Bull have done in the past, where it's just totally dominant and you just doesn't seem like you can do anything about it. They've not got to that level yet.
Yeah, I agree. And there's still plenty of the season left. There's still, I think, is there still an Italian race left to go? Maybe.
Yeah, I think there might be.
I think there might be another one. So that would be cool if there was a 1-2 Ferrari then. I think everyone would go absolutely ballistic in Italy if that was the case. But towards the end of the race, regardless, I think Red Bull, Verstappen was trying his best to chase up to Leclerc, but I think he had almost an 8-second gap towards the end. Antonelli continued to not put a wheel wrong. I think he was controlling the gap to Leclerc, and he was very close to track limit infringements. But he still managed to kind of keep that pace, keep his wheels on the track. And again, it just feels like a very mature performance from Antonelli so far. I don't know if you had any other kind of bits for the race that were highlights from the highlights that you watched.
Not really. I mean, Hamilton obviously finished 4th. He ended up getting past Piastri.
Yep.
Leclerc I've actually wrote down that he was close behind. So
who's that?
Leclerc was close behind Antonelli. So
yeah, it was close.
Any little mistake, he would have been right there. It wasn't as if Antonelli got past and just sailed away. So that's a positive for Ferrari.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll come on to Hungary, but it was more of a tighter race in terms of for teams anyway, I felt.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't get perhaps a race that we should have. Post-race, obviously Verstappen was doing the interviews, and I think when they sit on the sofa, you know that one.
Yeah, the breakdown, chill room, whatever it is.
No, after that. So
right.
They actually just do the conference bit.
Oh, yeah.
And he was asked about the car, and he just basically said, look, I'm not going to keep going about the car because I just feel like I'm moaning all the time, but the car's just, without a battery, once you get over to the end of that straight, it's just an F2 car with downforce. It's not any quick. It's not any quicker than me going into F2. He said, obviously I don't want to bash the cars all the time, and I'm really lucky to be driving like racing F1 cars, but I feel like I think in his mind he's like this is.
He's just a bit gutted, isn't he? He's just like
he just thinks it's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, compared to when he's been winning 4 world championships in a car that was exciting, probably a nightmare to drive in some of the instances, but exciting to drive. Like this is just not. I'm guessing it feels soulless to him, and he's just like, "What is the point?" Yeah. And for those who are true nerds, feel that through watching it, in a sense. Like, I guess.
Like imagine us going go-karting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, so I do like 5 really good laps. I'm out in front, and then they go, right, we're making the track longer, but you'll only have 50cc instead of 100cc at the end of the lap.
Yeah,
but someone else will get 100cc at the end of the lap, and you won't. You just be like, well, I'm the fastest here. I can lap the fastest, but
I guess it's the same thinking. This is not as fun as I anticipated to be. Feeling like if you go karting and there's like some idiot that just keeps like getting stuck, and you're like going along, it's fast, and then it's yellow flags, and I'm driving around at 50% speed again. It's just like, well, I was here to rag the cart around and have fun, but for 60% of my laps, I'm having to bloody slow down because someone's done a spinner kind of thing. But yeah, I think it ended with Antonelli on pole on the podium, first place. Leclerc, Verstappen, so he's getting points. Hamilton, despite the penalty, came 4th, and then Piastri got some points at least with a 5th place. So the Papaya boys coming through slightly. Poor George.
Where was Norris? Can't remember. I didn't note down where Norris.
I didn't note down where it was.
It must have been like probably 6th, maybe. I
think Hadjar was 6th because I've written down that Hadjar started all the way at the back, but actually made it all the way up to P6. So he obviously had a good race, and again, it's one of the leading constructor cars, so it's not a surprise, but equally still pretty impressive to go from towards the back to P6. Lando Norris got P7, I think.
Okay.
Yep. Which was unfortunate for him, but it's a change when we get to Hungary. For the Papaya boys. So Norris actually managed to get pole. Which
was a shock. I wasn't expecting it to see McLaren
anywhere.
I thought they'd be around it, but I won't.
Yeah.
Not all year they've not looked like qualifying or getting anywhere near it.
I think there was upgrades for that weekend, and I can't remember how many teams took upgrades for that weekend, but again, because I'm obsessed with F1 Fantasy, I was just like moving things around, thinking like, okay, I'm seeing who's getting a bit better right now. It's middle of the season. Maybe this is where we're going to move. Like, this is how it's going to now persist for the rest of the season. So I need to lock in my constructors and my drivers so I can get the most amount of points I can, blah, 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 blah. And then I'd not really paid attention to any of the qualifying. And I'd sat down on the sofa on the Sunday at my grandma's house to watch it, because I'd been busy all Saturday or whatever. And I remember opening it up and I was like, what the heck? Like there's a orange car on the pole position. And I ended up, before it even started, watching the qualifying highlights.
Just to
double check. Yeah. Am I in an alternate universe right now?
No one else got into Q3 and then Norris got pole.
But it was basically, I think he beat him again by beat Hamilton by a ridiculous tiny margin of like 0.
Thousands.
Yeah, 0. something seconds, which was crazy. But if they did take upgrades, clearly their upgrades are working. How long are they going to work for? I don't know, because I think we've seen that with different teams as well. They bring upgrades. Question: was it that weekend where Aston Martin took upgrades as well? I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Because the Aston Martin, because I remember watching a breakdown on YouTube, and they've changed a lot of the aero things. The nose of the car has got a lot skinnier. They used to have a big bulbous nose on the car. They've, everyone's little flippy wing area bit where they flip the DRS. They've all got these little wings on there. They changed a bunch of them, so they changed a lot of their package.
Newey's been working hard then.
Yeah, he has. So whether he has been or whatever, I don't know. But clearly, he's obviously at some point of the development cycle now where he can at least add a little bit of spiciness to the car. It's unfortunately still not super competitive, but it has really kind of improved in terms of pace, that car. But obviously not anything drastic like the McLaren boys in terms of a completely different phase shift in terms of capabilities. But yeah, the qualifying, I can't remember any main highlights from it apart from that. There probably was loads, but again, I watched the highlights. I didn't watch it live.
Same.
Need to do a much better job of watching some of these qualifyings, but I don't know what you're like. I mean, you don't even catch the race sometimes live, do you? So, but I try to watch the whole weekend of events, but it's just, life goes by, doesn't it? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I was away all weekend, so there's no chance me
so the Hungary week, you weren't there. Have you done another highlights job in terms of catching up on this one? So again, like I said, I watched it live. It was entertaining because then it was the opposite to Belgium. It's a short track, 70 laps or whatever it is. So I was like, surely they're going to have battery all the way around this goddamn thing. So going to be an interesting race. And at the start of the race, it was Norris being on pole, launched off really, really well. But his teammate Piastri was really, really aggressive. And that was interesting to watch. And it was interesting for a lot of the race, a bit like earlier on in the season. At the front, there was a lot of Antonelli and Russell scrapping with each other. It was now watching the two papayas scrap with each other for a little bit. So it was really interesting. I don't know if you had any other points for the kind of like start of the race.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the shorter track. I think usually Hungary isn't that interesting. It doesn't jump out to me as one that I always think, oh yeah, that's one I want to watch.
It's one I want to go to because it's in Europe for us and it might be a bit cheaper. But like you're not like, it's not like, wow, I want to go watch it.
But yeah, usually it doesn't really throw up anything because none of the corners are that special.
No.
But I mean, it says Hungaroring for a reason.
Yeah,
it is literally like a ring. But this one didn't disappoint. Given the highlights that I watched and the post-race reaction, everyone seemed to thoroughly enjoy. Everyone having plenty of juice all the way around, getting plenty done. So, yeah, Norris, Piastri both got a good start, squabbling. Leclerc then drops back because he didn't have such a good start. Verstappen moved himself up into third. And then Piastri takes the lead off Norris.
Yep.
And Russell, unfortunately, anti-stored off the line.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone sort of
whizzed
got out
past
his
him.
way. But he had to then try and catch up.
I think he initially dropped all the way to something like 21st or something, didn't he, because of the stall? I think very quickly, even on the first lap or after like 2 or 3 laps, he kind of was already like jumping to like 17th and stuff. But yeah, the stall was not great for him. And coming off the weekend of Belgian Grand Prix where he DNF'd, like, I bet he was inside that cockpit.
He was thinking,
absolutely
not
just
again.
Rolling his eyes, It was almost like the curse of Alonso. Like Alonso's in that Aston Martin's never had a great time. Like I think last year he was so unlucky. He was just like either issues with the car or crashing it, and seemingly the issues with the crashes weren't his fault either. Like now, Russell's just constantly having this issue where he is not having the best of times. So it's quite unfortunate for him.
And then I've got Hamilton pits, gets the undercut on Verstappen. That was quite tight actually. I quite enjoyed watching that unfold. I think I did manage to get an extended highlight again, which really helps because they don't always seem to put those out, or maybe I don't search for it properly, but sometimes when you get an 8-minute one, you don't really see anything. You just see 20 seconds here and there. But I feel like with the extended one, you get to see some form of strategies and how it pans out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hamilton pits, got the undercut, but then Verstappen gets the better of him and overtakes him. And then Norris is behind Piastri at this point, complaining that he's faster, I'm way faster, please let me pass. Obviously, their papaya rules came into play, and they had to say, sorry, Piastri gets first dibs. We can't let you get past him, let him pit. So I think Piastri reluctantly pitted.
Yeah.
Got told to box. Don't think he would have wanted to. And then Norris just puts in some stinking laps and then
stinking laps. Yeah.
Getting track position from him. So
yeah,
he wasn't lying when he said, I'm much faster than him, let me past. But fair is fair, and McLaren stuck to their guns and said, let him have first pit stop. If you're faster, then you'll get out ahead again anyway.
Yeah. They've got to prioritise the fairness. And I think when this season's not started where Norris has come straight back into it, where he is the dominator, where they might have maybe they've done a little bit of favouritism.
Yeah.
Both cars aren't performing. Both drivers are trying their best. So like fairness is just going to have to go across the board. I think maybe there was opportunities last year where we saw maybe he was leaning a little bit more on Lando Norris's favour for things. But yeah, I think for the start of the race, it was pretty much Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Antonelli, Hajar, and then like the racing bulls after that. So like it was that kind of running order for me. Sat there watching on the sofa was like a really weird order to see, especially Antonelli all the way down in whatever 6th or 7th he was. It was just weird to see this is how the race was starting and progressing. But yeah, the papaya rules are papaya rules, and the way that Norris kind of proved it was quite refreshing to see. And it, as a fellow Brit, you're like, God, yeah, come on then. Maybe the rest of the season you can put in some more stinkers, as you say, George, and maybe bring something back.
Stinking laps.
Yeah, but they were comfortably the quickest, and they were constantly inching away.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially throughout the early parts of the lap. And there was, I can't remember when, like for the bits that you were saying in terms of Norris kind of coming back and putting in the stints, was Verstappen was kind of like trying to chill with his tyre management, and then Hamilton went to undercut Verstappen. I don't know if you got this in your notes too, but yeah, went to go undercut. The undercut worked. For Hamilton. He managed to kind of get out in front. And then Verstappen, did he do his change? And then it was interesting because he did a late break-in on Hamilton, and it was, again, exciting, like old days watching these two scrap.
Squabbling,
Yeah, and I think even the commentators were excited to watch that too. But he did a late break-in, cut Hamilton off, which was exciting to see. And I think it almost looked close, as if it was going to be another of these, right, well, he's wasted his energy here now. Hamilton's now just going to use some battery and get past him. But I think he managed to keep his elbows out and keep the position, is what I was thinking, or from what I remember. But yeah, it was interesting. They tried to do the sneaky undercut. It didn't quite work out because Hamilton just put in beast mode and was like, nah, fuck that. Get out of my way. I'm taking you on this corner kind of thing. So that's where it was different and more interesting than the Belgian Grand Prix. They had these opportunities to do these more daring moves, whether it's the battery or what, I don't know. But yeah.
And I feel the strategies made a difference as well.
Yep.
Whereas Belgium, you could probably get away with probably not hitting your strategy spot on, but still being able to make it up as long as the car was quick enough and use evenly spreading the battery.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were both of those things, not a good strategy, using the battery badly, then you're never going to have a good Belgian race. Whereas this one was, if you get your strategy spot on, you put in your great laps, you're going to be up there, because of how short it is.
Yeah.
We saw that obviously Norris did what he wanted, and he didn't have a favourable pit stop, but he knew he was faster.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Hamilton's plan did work, but then Verstappen had his own plan of maintaining his tyres and getting back past him.
Yeah, and I think one of the things to kind of like pause and say here is like, we talk a lot about these top four teams. I know we mentioned at the beginning here like Aston Martin, but I guess we don't talk enough about some of the mid packs sometimes when we're chatting through these things.
Yeah.
Impressed with how Lindblad and Lawson are doing right now in the Racing Bulls. They are always kind of hovering around that kind of 9th, 8th, 10th position. So they're doing really, really well at the moment. Audi, I think Gabby's doing better than Hulkenberg right now, but that car seems to have pace when they're doing well and either get the strategy right, etc. So that car's doing quite well. I think the Alpines have dropped off. Like Gasly was doing quite good early on in the season, but I think he started to drop off, and I think that's always a bit of the Alpine curse. It's like sometimes they come out the start of the season looking quite well, but then it just slowly just peters off as the season goes on. So I don't know if they've already done upgrades or got upgrades to come. But yeah, they're kind of interesting to call out. Williams doesn't have it this year. Cadillac's having an absolute nightmare with DNFs and stuff.
Yeah. I think Cadillac are the worst. I know that Aston Martin have had to self-retire or just say we're going to finish the race last every time, but Cadillac are having issues where they want to finish but they can't.
Yeah.
Whereas at least Aston admit and go, we're not going to be the fastest, but we're going to finish the race as best we can.
I can't remember in this race if Perez was doing all right for a bit. But I always feel like if they look like they've done all right, it's because about 5 cars in front of them have DNF'd. Like that's the only reason they've got like a P17 or a P16 or something like that, is because, a quarter of the actual grids, bin their car into a wall or something. So obviously they're never going to get anywhere near close to points, but I think, again, it's their first year. So it's their first year. Got to give them a lot of things. But again, in terms of first year cars, it does seem like there's a lot of reliability issues. Like cars, we've seen cars set on fire, brake issues, engine. I don't know if they've had many crashes. Have they had many crashes? I can't remember. But
I don't think they've lasted that long to have a crash, to be honest. Like, majority of the time, if you're just seeing them just fail and not be able to finish. Yeah,
which is unfortunate. But yeah, as we probably need to do a bit more love for some of these middle pack drivers, and I guess
you got maybe Haas as well.
Yeah, Haas as well. Yeah, but then they're not even computing really in my head in terms of anything exciting. Red Bulls are. Audi's close to being exciting. At least Racing Bulls are consistent. Like the Racing Bulls are consistently good. Like they are so close to being like a sister team, like a very, like it's almost steady getting bad team. As in like they could get to the point where they could have like 4 cars on the grid again, bullying other teams out of the way kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's interesting. But yeah, back to kind of, I guess, the main part of the race and one of these teams that did cause issues, even though we saw the Papayas kind of, doing the Papaya rules, Norris then taking off fast. Piastri came back out, I think, soon after with doing some tyre changes and had a little tangle with Carlos Sainz. And I don't know if that was the cause, but then shortly after a couple of laps, he had some race-ending damage and he ended up DNFing, which screwed the whole idea of like a 1-2 McLaren. And then Norris was free to kind of run away with it. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything in your notes on why he fully DNF'd, because it felt like he was going round for a bit more still. and then his gearbox, I think, gave up or something. I'm not quite sure.
I don't think it was a contact. He did make contact with the Williams back marker because he just didn't get out of the way, and he said on the radio like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Yeah, yeah.
But it was lap 56 that he DNF'd, and it was lap 40 that Norris came back out in front of Piastri.
Yeah.
As he made contact with the Williams, so he went round a good few laps after that.
Right.
But yeah, it was a gearbox issue that you heard it on the highlights when he came out of corner, shifted up, and it just went, and then it just didn't change after that. So then he had to just retire the car.
Yeah. I think sometimes we don't do a good enough job of like doing the follow up of like what did they say in the race interviews, what did they say from like the engineers. Like you never know. I guess could it be even from the incidents putting more strain on the car? Aeros weren't doing the job, cars trying to do more. I don't know, but there was a little kind of kiss of the two cars. He was very frustrated, and unfortunately, yeah, Piastri had to kind of come out of it. And I think I don't know what your perception is, Jord, but like it feels like so much of the field has just been ignored from commentators all year. It's been pretty much Antonelli, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen. Like you hear them being talked about so much because they're either squabbling or something's happening.
Yeah.
And then there's these other kind of periphery people that sometimes get mentioned, whether it's like a Hadjar and so on. I think
there isn't a lot of focus on it. I mean, I've watched a few races live as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, they don't really focus too much on the midriff. They will for like a tiny portion. They'll get the helicopter over and they'll go, "Oh my God, look at this! There's 6 cars all chasing each other within 2 seconds or whatever."
Yeah,
and then they just pan straight back to Hamilton or Antonelli pitting. And you're like, "Well, I sort of wanted to watch that."
Yeah.
If they pit, just put that on the little box in the corner. These guys are actually racing for points. It's like 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, so why not show it?
Yeah.
So I wish they would do that a bit more.
But there is some squabbling at the front, so like, and it is constructor World Driver Championship implications, so that I guess they kind of got to show it. But yeah, it is. There's. I don't know if there is as much as like DRS trainness this season or not, because there is more rather than DRS train. It's just bunny hopping in a way. I also feel like a lot of the season as well. There's a lot of times when I've looked at the board on the left, and there's like people that are plus 1 lap behind, or there's like portions of groups like the top 6 are 24 seconds across the next front of the next group, and I'm like, how the hell are these 6 cars making 24 seconds on everyone else
on the bottom half? Yeah.
And then there's another gap here, and then there's a gap of 12 seconds to the next gaggle of cars, and it's like, it's weird how these little sections and pods of groups are now then like either bunny hopping each other in a pod of 5 cars or DRSing each other. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think this conversation is making me allergic because my nose has got really itchy throughout these conversations.
You're allergic to the mid pack. That's why you always watch.
Allergic to papayas, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, towards the end of that race, Verstappen was trying his best to kind of close up to Norris. Antonelli, not having the best time of his life, was just holding on to try and get some good points. And Norris, thanks to his good qualifying and I guess some of these upgrades that he got, managed to secure the first win of the season for himself. I guess that felt pretty good. And Antonelli managed to still get a podium. So he kind of, I guess it limits the risk imposed to his potential World Driver Championship chances. So yeah, I think it was an all right race. It was a good race. It was better than the Belgian race to watch.
Yeah. I think as a contrast, it just looked loads better because you just watched Belgium.
Yeah.
I mean, Antonelli did make good use of the VSC.
Yep.
He ended up pitting, got ahead of Hamilton. Then Hamilton unfortunately got a speeding penalty.
He did, yes.
In the
Yeah,
pit lane.
yeah.
And I think I saw it was 0.1 kilometers over or something.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But rules are rules kind of thing.
Norris wins. Verstappen got second, which I still think for that car to be getting podiums, it's the same as start of last year, like to be up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how close the car is behind Mercedes, but I'm sure he drives it way better.
Well, didn't you say that they got or was it me that said it? They've got the FAI have determined that they've got the best engine.
Yeah, apparently they've got the best and most powerful engine, which it just must mean the balance that how Mercedes are dealing with having the battery in the aero sort of makes them a bit quicker, but engine on its own it's the most powerful. So I'm not sure how the FIA are determining that, but
me neither.
They've got something, and if they do what they did last year and pull some out of the bag for the second half of the season, they could definitely come back with Verstappen. Not sure if Hadjar could fight for anything, but he is pretty consistent at being middle of the top of the pack kind of thing.
Like I mean, like we said at Belgium, he was back at the start at the back and got to P6, so he's got some ability, some pace in the car to do that. Obviously with VSCs, and if you get the right time to pit and all that kind of stuff, you can really make leaps and bounds in terms of positions on the track. But I think Hadjar is doing good in that second seat, and he's done the best out of the previous bunch of second drivers for Verstappen, I would say.
It's looking pretty decent for. I mean, I haven't seen the table, but Ferrari seem to majority of the time consistently. Finish pretty high up. So constructors wise, they could actually snatch it off Mercedes because
Russell having issues and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So that'd be good for them. I think I've got Ferrari and Racing Bulls in fantasy.
Nice.
So that'd be good.
I've got Mercedes and I had Mercedes and Ferrari, but I swapped them out.
You have Mercedes and Ferrari?
Yeah.
You pay for more money or something?
I had Mercedes, Ferrari, Antonelli, and then a bunch of shit drivers. But I've now got Mercedes, Antonelli, Hadjar, I think, and Audi, and Gabby Bortoleto, because I knew the Audi was absolutely a shocker, but now they've got some pace. And their price has been going up and up and up and up. So my plan is then to hopefully have Hadjar, Antonelli, Mercedes and Ferrari. So 2 good drivers, 2 good teams, and then 3 shit drivers, rather than... I hope you've gone sideways, George.
Well, sideways? Oh, it's turned itself off.
But yeah, I think that Ferrari are doing a good job of being consistent, and Leclerc's consistently getting points. Lewis up and down all the time. Seems to be getting a ton of penalties this year for whatever this reason or another.
So speed cameras, mate.
No, you're back to normal now. But Ferrari, I don't know what it is about Hamilton this year. He's getting a lot of penalties, but he had the speed to potentially have a podium, I think, Hamilton. But he obviously sometimes just has these things that set him back. But yeah, I think overall for that weekend, interesting to see Papaya suddenly bringing it back. We've got 3 weeks or whatever it is for the break. Is it going to be the same situation when we come back to the first race of the second half of the season after the summer break? I don't know. What do you predict? Who do you think is going to be coming out the gate of for the next 3 races? Who do you think is going to be more consistent? Is it going to be Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, or Red Bull?
I think it's more of the same. I would hope McLaren can come back a little bit, try and make it a 3-horse
race
squabble.
Sport?
Well, probably
it's 3. It's 3.
Before teams, but I just can't see.
I don't see Hadjar. I haven't seen Hadjar on the podium. I would say it's a 4-horse race if I've seen Hadjar on the podium, but I haven't seen Hadjar. He's been close-ish, but I've not seen him on it. Whereas we've seen well, now Norris.
I feel like it would be just seven drivers going at it between.
Yeah. Have we seen? I'm not telling a lie, but we haven't seen Hadjar on the podium, have we? This season, no. I don't think so. So, yeah, I think it's a 3-horser with McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes.
I just think Verstappen will be up there
constantly,
squabbling. Yeah. So yeah, 7 drivers all messing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like McLaren to come back out and make it a tougher battle for everyone. Hungary looked promising for them, but is that just because of the nature of the track? They were able to gain from whatever package they've got because of it. Time will tell, but yeah, I think in time we will see, like we did last year. The second half was a lot closer.
Yeah.
We were seeing it. The first half of last year, it was just McLaren winning again, and we were like, "Oh, this is." It was still a squabble between Norris and Piastri, but then it turned into Verstappen coming back as well.
Could Verstappen do it? And then I was secretly rooting for him. Like, come on, just do it. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
It would be chaos.
Potentially. But yeah, it depends on how the cars cope with the longer tracks. I mean, we've got some tracks left where there will be some long straights again.
And that's an interesting point of news, that we've had a track change, haven't we? Bahrain's been swapped out for Malaysia. So I actually have no clue about Malaysia and what that track setup is. But
yeah,
I think
they used to do Malaysia at the start before
it
got swapped. Malaysia is what it used to be, but they changed who gets them. So
yeah.
I can't remember it, I must admit, but they did used to do it. And
I think it's a funky shaped track. I'm going to double check.
I can't remember it being. I think it's like long and sweeping. I can't remember. It's not that technical. But I think like all the desert or hot country tracks, they're sort of similar when they're in that region anyway.
Malaysia F1 track. Let's have a look. I don't know what it looks like. Oh yeah, it is weird. It's got like this.
Does it go like that?
It looks like the head of a dinosaur. It has this middle bit where it's like a really long thing, and then sweeps back again, and then it looks like a normal track around the outside. But like the middle is shaped
like a long tail,
like a weird. I don't know how you would explain it, but like the inside of a paperclip in a sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got two. It's got a hairpin, really long straight, very kind of short corner, really long straight again.
Okay.
So that would be an interesting track to watch these cars on. And if it's Bahrain, it's towards the very end of the season.
So I've not seen anything else. Are we still getting a shorter season? Or are they being swapped? Because it was Bahrain and Saudi that got cancelled, right? There was 2 races that got cancelled. That's why we had like a 4-week break randomly.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Maybe we'll come back in the next episode with our actual research and facts and figures. But
comment. But
I might have been absolutely just, duped by F1 Troll on Instagram. And
you might have.
It's not even real.
To Malaysia. Just going to Monza 3 times.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Viva Ferrari.
But yeah, I think overall, 2 very contrasting races to watch in back to back. Preferred Hungaroring more than watching Belgian. Interesting to see how things shape up as we get to the end of the season. Not the end of the season, end of this summer break, and move into the end of the season. And yeah, I think it's still all to play for. Would like to see, like you say, McLaren come back, and I can't wait till F1 season comes back. But as you've said, George, we hopefully are going to get an episode or 2 out before it does start again. Hopefully talk about some car-related content. I've been doing some stuff in cars, been going to some of the car meets again. Miles did another one which really interested me, but I can talk about in the next episode. But yeah, we've been rambling on for about an hour now. So unless you've got anything super special to round off this episode with, George.
We're doing clip of the week, or are we saving those?
Sod it, it's already an hour in, isn't it? So we'll save it for next episode. But yeah, that's our roundup of the Hungarian Grand Prix and the Belgian Grand Prix. Hope you enjoyed watching it. I know we're a little bit late with this again, but we look forward to seeing if you've got any comments in the comment section down below. And we've also got some new videos coming soon that might be longer form shorts in a sense. So keep an eye out for that. But that's the end of the episode. Thanks guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you guys. See you later.
See you later.